Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you something very interesting and you will be having so much fun. So, are you ready for the joyride? Let's go for it. Now, can you guess this cute creature on your screen? Yes, you must have guessed it because it is the famous character from the famous animation movie Wall-E. Correct? Moving on, tell me the name of this character. I know you must be knowing this one. For those who don't, I'll give you a hint. Now, you must have guessed it. Yes, it is the famous movie Transformers. Now, moving on. Can you recall the name of this movie? No? Need hint? Let's go.
What you're looking at is the result of clever programming, an imitation of free will. It's nothing more. We are on the eve of the largest robotic distribution in history. By Saturday, there'll be one robot to every 5 humans.
How many robots have ever communicated?
Now, can you tell me? It is a scene from the famous movie I, Robot, having Will Smith. From now, you must have guessed the topic of our today's discussion. Yes, we are talking about robots. Now, the real world robots are quite different from that ones which are shown in these movies. They are the simple machines which help in our day-to-day life. As you can see on your screen, this is the first robot named Unimate. The Unimate robot has automated the manufacturing process of picture tubes. The picture tubes were used in early televisions. Now, this is the world's most advanced robot. His name is Asimo and is made by the company Honda. Asimo is just like a human being and is capable of doing all these things which you can do with your hands, legs and all other organs. You want to see? In this video, Asimo tries to pour liquid from one container to another. See, it is removing the cap from the container just like how we do in our home. See, he is using all the 5 fingers and he is able to remove the cap. Now, see how perfect his motions are. Now, will he able to pour the liquid perfectly? And yes, he has poured the liquid without any mistake. And now he is going to serve you the juice. Thank you, Asimo.
Arigato.
Now, this was how Asimo was capable of using his hands. Now he is capable of running also. He is fast, isn't it? He can run up to a speed of 9 kilometers per hour. Now, these were robots in a shape of human. So, they were called humanoids. And they were limited possibilities of doing any work. But robots are not just the humanoid robots. In the picture, you can see a robot which has landed on the surface of Mars. Yes, the red planet. It is made by NASA and it is responsible for collecting information from the planet about any life forms. Is it possible for any human to go on the surface on Mars and survive for 4 or 5 months? No, it is not. Why? Because the Mars surface does not have any life supporting elements like water, air, and food. So, robots are the obvious choice for research of life on other planets or in any part of external space. Now, in this picture you can see a robotic hand is operating a person's stomach. Now, why use robots for this surgery? I'll tell you why. See, when a doctor is residing in Delhi and I want a patient to be operated in Hyderabad, then we need to take the patient to Delhi. If the patient is in such a critical stage that the time in taking this person from Hyderabad to Delhi is also very dangerous, then what we do? We install this robot in the hospital, and the surgeon in Delhi sends signals using his hands, and those signals are perceived by the robot, and the robot operates the patient exactly in the manner the doctor does, and in this way the robot is successful in saving the patient's life. Now, these were some robots which were very critical and they have unlimited possibilities rather than a human. Talking about general robots, in the picture you can see welding process. The welding process is the joining of two metals by employing very large amount of electricity. As you can see the sparks, these are the results of welding. Now, is it possible for a person to survive if he gets a shock of several thousand volts? No, he will die. But the robots are made shock proof. So we have seen that the robots can provide greater safety to humans in the hostile environment. And let me tell you, they are also contributing in increasing the productivity. In the bottling plants, see how many hands will be required if we need to manufacture 1 lakh bottles in one day. We need at least 1000 human hands or 500 persons. But by using robots and automatic machines, we can employ this by a faster rate, hence increasing productivity, and also it reduces human errors because the robots are not capable of doing errors. They can only be programmed for certain things. Now, by these things, you must be thinking that robots are very hi-fi machines and only scientists or some engineers are capable of making a robot. But my friends, this is not true. If we know the basic things inside a robot, we can make our own robot. And I promise you that if you go along with me for all the sessions, at the end of it, we will be having our own robot. So, the robot actually has two components. As on your screen you can see, they are composed of electrical and mechanical things. We will describe it in detail. The electrical things are just like those nerves and nerve cells in our human body. The electrical parts in a robot are sensors and IC circuits. See how we can see things, hear, get smell or get the touch by our sensory organs. Just like that, the robot also has its sensors. Different sensors give different signals to the robot, and the IC circuits which connect these sensors to the mind of the robot. The mind of robot is called microprocessor. Now, talking about mechanical parts, the mechanical parts are those parts which help in the movement. These parts are gears, which helps in speed, and the chassis. The chassis is the external structural material. The motors, which are employed for movement. Apart from these two things, there are some programs. Now, what are these programs? First, you tell me that will you understand anything if I tell you in Chinese or in German? No, most of you won't, because we know our mother tongue, and some of us also know different languages like English. So we are programmed with the language English or our mother tongue. Apart from it, we cannot get anything. So the programs are those languages which are inside the robot. So by using these programs only, we give command to the robot, and after getting command, the robot decides which movement he should do. Hence the programs are of two types, embedded and reprogrammable. Embedded means we don't need to change the program, we just need to give values. But in the reprogrammable systems, we can give our own programs or commands. Now, talking more about mechanical systems, you can see the left hand side is motor and the right hand side has gears. And the middle picture shows some wheels. Now talking about electrical parts, this is a picture of IC chip, that is integrated circuit chip. This integrated circuit is a part of robot's mind, which enables the robot to decide what he has to do in given circumstances. Sensors, which we have talked about earlier, these are the sense organs of a robot. Interface wires, these wires connect the sensors, power and another things to the mechanical parts so that the signals can travel, just like the blood vessels in our human body. So this was the introduction class of the robot and what is inside a robot. We will know all these things in detail in our next sessions. So stay tuned for more and wait for a robot like this to come in your room. Thank you.